My compassionate and imaginative Pisces friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. In Pisces, there is a subtle ache beneath the surface this week. It's the kind of tension that lingers in stillness, the sense that you want to retreat, to close your eyes to the world for just a little while, but life gently tugs you forward. You might feel the weight of recent days heavy in your bones. There's a longing for quiet, for shelter from the noise and the swirl. For you, this isn't only about tiredness. It's more like a silent plea for space to gather yourself, to breathe. You sense that you're holding something inside, a soft sadness perhaps, or a vague uncertainty about what comes next. Even as others go about their business, your inner world feels hushed, almost suspended. You wish you could pause time just for a moment to rest in the hush between heartbeats. Yet beneath this hush there's an undercurrent, an awareness that something wants to shift, but not just yet. You're listening for it quietly, as if waiting for a distant bell to sound. In this space, the need for rest and the pull toward action sit side by side, asking you to notice where you are before anything else can unfold. This week, the 4 of Swords draws a gentle veil over your inner landscape. The world outside may ask for your attention, but within you move softly, almost as if you're recovering from something only you can name. There's a quiet fatigue, a sense that you've given much of yourself lately. Perhaps you've been holding it together for others, or carrying responsibilities that never seem to lighten. Amidst the swirl of daily duties, your spirit seeks sanctuary, a place where you can simply be, undisturbed by demands or expectations. You might find yourself daydreaming about silent mornings or a bed that cradles you until the sun is high. These aren't just idle wishes, they're your heart's way of signaling that it needs tending. The world presses in, but you drift inward, checking for cracks, tending to the smaller aches. You may notice your thoughts moving more slowly, your emotions settling like silt in still water. Old worries surface, not to alarm you but to be seen and then released. There is tension here. The urge to retreat, to care for yourself, runs up against the realities of life. You might feel guilty for needing rest or wonder if you're falling behind. But in truth, this is a necessary pause, a quiet interval that lets you gather strength. The hush is not emptiness, it is fertile ground. In these silent hours, you rediscover the contours of your own needs. You sense that something is waiting to awaken, but for now, all you can do is rest, listen, and allow yourself to be held by the quiet. The deepest part of you knows that this pause is not weakness, but wisdom, even if you cannot yet explain it to anyone else. From this well of quiet, a new movement begins to stir. The stillness of your inner world is not separate from the flow of life. It shapes what comes next. As you settle into the hush, you notice that the world does not stop spinning. Responsibilities accumulate, routines call your name, and the steady march of days insists on your participation. The tension between needing rest and needing to move forward creates a gentle pressure, a sense that even in stillness you are being prepared for the next step. This is not a sudden jolt, but the slow, steady turning of the tide. You begin to sense that when you are ready, you will rise and meet what waits for you. The pause is not an end, but a gathering of energy for the journey ahead. The Knight of Pentacles arrives quietly but firmly on the path before you. There is no rush in his stride, no reckless charge, just the measured pace of someone who knows that real progress comes from showing up day after day. This week, you may feel the world's expectations growing heavier. Deadlines approach, daily routines press in, and others look to you for reliability. There's a friction here, a gentle resistance between your yearning for rest and the responsibilities that cannot be put off forever. The world asks for your steady hand, your grounded presence. You might feel as though you're moving through thick air, each step requiring conscious effort. Yet, even as you long for quiet, there is a part of you that responds to this call. You find yourself getting up, making the bed, ticking off small tasks, even when your heart would rather linger in the hush. The pressure is not overwhelming, but it is persistent. It asks you to show up not in grand gestures, but in the small, everyday acts that build a life. The friction is real. You may resent the demands, but you also recognize their necessity. You are being asked to bridge the gap between your need for sanctuary and the world's need for your steady presence. Each day you find a rhythm between rest and effort, between honoring your limits and fulfilling your role. The Knight of Pentacles is not glamorous, but he is reliable. You discover, almost in spite of yourself, that you are capable of more than you thought. The weight you carry does not break you. It shapes you slowly into someone who can be counted on, not just by others, but by yourself. In the steady repetition of daily life, you find a kind of quiet dignity. You realize that moving slowly is not the same as standing still. The world's demands may not lessen, but your ability to meet them grows breath by breath. Yet the path does not unfold on its own. The possibility of real change, of true self-respect, depends on how consciously you meet this moment. The quiet you crave and the steady effort you are called to make are not opposites but partners. The way you hold both, without running from either, determines what becomes possible for you. If you move through this week simply enduring, nothing shifts. But if you meet the tension with awareness, with a gentle willingness to engage both your need for rest and your responsibilities, something new takes root. The pause and the movement are both yours to navigate. The more honestly you acknowledge this, the more the week opens up to you. Growth waits, but only if you remain awake to each small choice. At the heart of your potential this week lies the card called strength. This is not the kind of strength that demands applause or proves itself in grand gestures. Here, strength is quiet, almost invisible, an inner sturdiness built from the willingness to sit with discomfort and stay present. You are invited to notice just how resilient you are, even when you doubt it. There is a gentle courage in choosing to care for yourself without apology, in moving through your days at the pace that feels true. You find strength not in pushing through exhaustion, but in honoring your limits and still showing up again and again. This is the strength of self-trust. You see yourself clearly, not as someone who never falters, but as someone who knows when to pause and when to move. There is a steadying power in this recognition. You begin to realize that you do not need to choose between rest and action. You can weave them together, letting each inform the other. The world may never notice this quiet victory, but you do. In the space where you once felt only tension, something softer grows, a confidence that is unforced, a sense of being at home in your own skin. The invitation is simple, to be gentle with yourself, to move at your own pace, and to trust that this is more than enough. Strength in its truest form is patient. It does not hurry you. It simply stands beside you quietly as you step into yourself. All the threads of your week gather here, Pisces, in a tapestry woven from quiet pause, steady movement, and growing trust. The Four of Swords shows you the wisdom of rest, the necessity of honoring your own rhythms. The Knight of Pentacles brings the reminder that life asks for your presence, your willingness to keep showing up, even when you long for stillness. And Strength reveals that the meeting point between rest and responsibility is where your real power lies. In the push and pull between what you need and what the world asks of you, you find your own rhythm. It is not always easy, and there will be days when you feel caught between wanting to withdraw and needing to engage. But there is no need to choose one over the other. Both are true. Both belong. When you make space for quiet and still continue on, you build a foundation that is quietly unshakable. This week is not about conquering the world or retreating from it. It is about showing up as you are, honoring each need as it arises. In this you discover a gentle assurance, a trust in yourself that deepens with every small, conscious act. Let the hush and the steady steps weave together. Let your strength unfold not all at once, but in the slow, steady bloom of self-acceptance. In this way you become both refuge and response, both sanctuary and steady hand, and in that balance you find peace. Actionable insights for Pisces this week. Let yourself linger a little longer in quiet moments when you feel the urge to rush. Try finishing one simple, grounding task and notice how your mood shifts afterward. When you feel stretched thin, pause and place a hand on your chest, breathing slowly until you sense a bit more steadiness. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I am allowed to rest without guilt. My presence, even in small ways, matters. Gentleness and steadiness can exist together. Every quiet moment I claim builds my resilience. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.